This is Center Stage. NBA legend Earl Monroe is here. In your second season as a Knick, you have successful surgery to remove bone spurs. Willis Reed is healthy, rejoins the team. Do you think this is a championship team going into that season?
Yeah, but, you know, Willis, again, his knees went on in during this season. And thank goodness we had Jerry Lucas, you know, as part of our package there. And I felt as though that team represented New York. It represented all different factions of New York, from your intellectuals down to your everyday working guy. We encompass all that stuff. And I think that's one reason why that team is so endeared, you know, to New Yorkers today.
Jerry Lucas.
Smart aleck.
Did he really have that great a memory?
Yes.
Yeah?
As a matter of fact, he would say, you'd be walking and he'd say 35. And you wonder what he'd say. Oh, 35 steps from here to there.
Really?
Yeah, that's
a little weird.
yeah.
Now, you start that year, the team 39-10. The Celtics are having a great season as well. In January, you have to take a leave of absence from the team. What happened?
My mother was actually pushing my sister's car. And she had an aneurysm. In late January, I went there, and we had a great conversation. She was beaming, you know. She had like a light around her, you know, glowed. And after we finished talking, you know, she walked me to the door of the room, and she just said, Earl, you know, if anything happens to me, you know, I'll be okay. Don't worry about it. I'm going to be fine. And I always say, I call her Ma, M-A. You know, I say, oh, Ma, be cool, you know. And then I left and drove back to New York. About 6 o'clock in the morning, my friend Smitty, who went to school with me, called me. They told me my mother had passed, and that, you know, that she had passed. And so I came back, you know, really couldn't do anything. It was probably the most traumatic point of my life. I loved her so much. She'd done so much for me. You know, she made me, you know, the person that I am today. And, you know, everything I do, everything I did was to be for her, you know, wanted her to be proud of me. So, you know, I stayed out of from the Knicks about a week or so, and decided right then when I was going to come back, I was driving back to New York, and decided that I was going to dedicate the rest of this season to her, and that I was going to go back to being Earl to Pearl. You know, and so that was kind of how it all was, and so when I got back, I was ready.
Right.
You know, I was ready to do it, and you know, it might have taken a couple minutes or whatnot, but got it together, and we won it.
What was it like winning the championship?
Yeah, it was great. When you look at the guys today and how they get to be so hyped up and whatnot, I mean, our hypeness, you know, really just goes like, okay, we want to do it. Okay, where are we going now? You know, and
so it wasn't a long celebration?
No, it wasn't.
And Jerry didn't call you Ben that day?
No, he didn't. He might have called me a few other days. And I remember telling Dean, who was my roommate at the time, I said, "It's finally over, man. Let's go get some room service." That's how we celebrated.
You guys wanted to play the Lakers for revenge.
Yes.
They had beaten you, and Wilt Chamberlain greeted you very warmly. But then something happened where Dean Meminger dissed him, and then it kind of changed his personality.
Yeah, Dean, you know, was talking about the big fellow and went in and tried to score on him, and big fellow didn't like all that kind of stuff. You know, he demanded respect, and I used to kid him myself going in and I holler, "Oh, almost got that one, big fella." You know, "Oh, oops." stop, you know, things like that. He used to get mad and say, don't you bring your little ass in here no more.
After your first season with the Knicks ended, you got a letter from someone who wished you luck on the upcoming season. And then supposedly he did a profile of you on Sport Magazine. That guy was Woody Allen. And he said that you stood him up for the interview. Is that true?
Well, you know, yes. It wasn't that I stood him up. I mean, I wanted a good haircut, wanted to look good for him at this thing. But you go to the barbershop, all the badgering and whatnot goes on in the barbershop, and nobody's cutting hair. All they do is talking. So by the end, by the time I got my haircut, to get back to my apartment, he was gone. But he wrote a wonderful.
He still wrote a nice story, though.
Well, without me.
Yeah.
And not even a quote.
Yeah.
You know. But Woody, you know, we used to go to his parties. And he used to have great New Year's Eve parties.
He had good parties?
He had great New Year's.
Really?
I mean, he had it was some mansion or something over on Fifth Avenue every year. It was almost like Studio 54. You can't beat that.
Hit and Run is coming up next. Let's see if he can beat that.